We are live. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Thank you all so much for being here. Everyone that's coming in at this time, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Anybody that's watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone. I just want to get that up front and first. Thank you all. I hope you're all having a wonderful holidays. I hope you're with friends, family, loved ones, all of that. And, hopefully they're helping to keep you sane with this Lakers thing. We're hoping for a Christmas miracle. Didn't get one. Need to get LeBron help, man. It's rough right now. It's rough to see LeBron try to carry us and try to do everything he can to no avail. Right? It's terrible. There's no other words to describe it. It's not good. And hopefully something gets done, but it just feels like at what point is it too late? At what point is it too late to make a trade or make a move or do something that can help the Lakers? So I don't know. We'll see. But Hal is the oldest player on our team at 38 points, by far the best player on the court, and nobody can help him. Mavs had 3 players scored 20, and Russ scored 16 and 17. Yeah, I mean, it was. And Russ scored like 14 of that in like the first half, right? Or 12 of that in the first half. So he disappeared in the second half. It's just defense didn't show up. Guys couldn't get stops. Nothing. I mean, it was just a really bad game. No way around it. No ands, ifs, buts about it. I stopped watching in the third. Did I miss anything? No, you didn't. That was probably the best play. I probably should have stopped watching in the third. I'll get this man some help. He's balling. Hate to say it, but Rob and Jeannie are gonna get an angry LeBron. Yeah, they got to do something, man. They got to do I don't know how you can sit here and watch LeBron James play this way and go, man, hey, we're just gonna ride it out. Like, there's no free agents in the offseason. And Miles Turner is likely making an extension. There was a report from Woj that, James Harden might want to go to Houston. So, could the Lakers maybe entice James Harden? Maybe, but why when he could? I don't know why he'd go to Houston, but if he was going to go anywhere else but Houston, he might as well stay in Philly because they're probably better than the Lakers. And then what? You're gonna do what? You're gonna go and get Kyrie, maybe, but Kyrie's he's playing great. Him and the team seem to have figured it out, and they're one of the best teams in the league since Steve Nash getting fired. Top 10 in defense, top 5 in offense. What is out there? What are you going to do that is worth writing this out? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Again, though, to put things in perspective, also, who knows what's going on behind the scenes? That's something that we need to understand as well. It takes 2 teams to make a trade, right? I would love for Rob Pelinka to just pick up the phone, hey, we're going to trade you this for that. Done. I'll send you the paperwork and we're good. But unfortunately, just doesn't work like that. So, and teams aren't really incentivized right now to make a trade. If you're a team, you're still trying to figure out what do you want to do, where do you want to go? Is there any alternatives? Can you make, can you get a better deal? Can somebody else give you better? It's just right now, it's just a tough spot, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe Rob's trying to get a deal done and just nobody wants to deal right now. It's a possibility too. Should be ashamed. Yeah, it's rough, man. I know it takes a lot to trade. It can't be just the Lakers, but come on. You're telling me they can't get LeBron any new players? I don't know. I mean, and it also depends on what the price is too. Maybe they have deals on the table, but what if that only player is Bojan Bogdanovic, and now Detroit, because Anthony Davis is out, Detroit's it's both first. You can't trade both first for Bojan Bogdanovic. You just can't. Maybe one, sure, but we don't know what the deals are. Maybe they have something that they're trying to work out. For all we know, Rob Pelinka right this second could be getting ready to finalize a deal tomorrow morning. I don't think anything's going to happen tonight. It's Christmas, but maybe something finalizes tomorrow morning. I mean, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and we don't know what teams are asking for. They could be asking for both first round picks for, nothing. You know, like, oh yeah, you want Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson? Okay, well we want both unprotected first. Like, again, you can't do that. Like, you need multiple guys. You can't like one or maybe even two guys probably aren't going to turn this team around. You're going to need several guys, which is where the issue lies. If I'm Robin Genie, I'm getting LeBron some help now because the man is balling, but he has no help. Front office got to do something. I mean, they do. I absolutely agree. It's just, again, it's easier said than done. Trades in general are hard. Every single night it's 2-3 zone to start the third with the same lineup, with the same results. Ham's got to learn sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why he doesn't start Russ in the second half just to give that energy, because it seems like it's an energy problem when we come at a halftime. It seems like the other team is energized and boom, they're off to the races, and we're just kind of like catching up. And I don't know why you wouldn't start Russ and try to get Russ to just kind of be that energy guy. Like let him start the third. Like I would be okay with them even starting him over LeBron to start the third. Let LeBron get a little more rest. Let Russ just be that energy guy. Go, go, go. I did like the aggressive Russ today. I don't know why he stopped. That sucked. But the first half, like the Russell Westbrook we got in the first half, that's the Russ we need. We need that Russ. He was like what? He was like 50%, 45% from the floor today, something like that. Yeah, so 43.8%. Okay, fine. He was 40% from three. Great. 17 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. We needed him to get at least 25 plus. And I just think that that might help too, is you start the third and you just tell Russ, like, go, dude, just go. Like, we need your energy. We need you to come out and get us buckets. And I think that you can. I think you'll get better results in the third. Westbrook's defense was atrocious, and his lack of shooting was painful to watch. He was a -30 on the court, meaning we got outscored by a total of 30 points with the rest of the court. You can't look at plus minus for stuff. Plus minus is such a terrible just metric, because it doesn't only pertain to you. I mean, LeBron, for example, like LeBron had 38 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds with only 2 turnovers, shot 56% from the field, and was a +2. Like that's terrible. Dennis Schroeder had 8 points, 5 personal fouls, and he was a -1. Austin Reeves had 16 points and was a -15. Like, it's just, there's so many things that go into that metric. It's hard to judge it. Now, look, Russ, second half was terrible. Like, I was so glad first half Russ. I was like, yes, there we go. Aggression. We need that. We need that, especially with AD out. I even made the community post that was like, I love this aggressive Russ. That needs to continue. And he just stopped, right? Like, just stopped. So that sucked. Pelicans are really happy. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. They're probably going to get a really good pick unless we get some turnaround. Lakers role players are so bad. They really are. They really are. Blink and Genie need to do something, please. They really do. I agree. Hornets deal at least gives us offensive chance. Problem is with the Hornets, like, I really love the Hornets deal. Like, especially if you could get like all 4. Problem is you got to wait for Bridges to get signed. Like, they're not going to do that unless Bridges get signed. And depending on what they sign Bridges for, will dictate what they'll give up. Because if they can keep PJ Washington, and like, say they can sign Bridges because of what he did, like, let's say they can sign him for like $15 million a year. Well, then now they don't need to trade PJ Washington. So, like, yeah, you could probably get Kelly Oubre, Gordon Hayward, and Terry Rozier. But like, the goal is like you need PJ Washington too, like, because that's what makes the deal like really worth it. Because just it's a huge question mark with Gordon Hayward. Terry Rozier would help a lot. Kelly Oubre would help a lot. But PJ Washington gives you that other wing. It gives you that piece for the future, and then it kind of gives you that justification of like, okay, well, we're taking on $150 million in salary. That's the other thing too. Funny how LeBron put up 38 and Luka put up 32, yet the Mavs dominate when Luka has help and LeBron has none. Wood had 30 points, Hardaway had almost 30. LeBron can barely get 15 out of one guy. Yeah, there's just no one stepped up tonight. No one came to help. I mean, LeBron did everything he could to kind of carry the load here, and do the best he can. And he's only one guy and he's 38 years old, Tyler, hear me out. My brother, Ham, had 5 guards on the court. I've never seen that. Yeah, that I don't understand. I don't know why you didn't play Thomas Bryant. Like, especially with Christian Wood. Like, Christian Wood was just eating us alive. I don't understand. Like, look, I understand we have, like, nothing but guards, right? But, like, come on, that's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Darvin, Bev getting 32 minutes is insane. I agree. First of all, Merry Christmas to you all, Xmas to you all. Yes, thank you all so very much. Seriously, thank you all for hanging out with me here on Christmas. I'm sure you guys were watching the game and as frustrated as I am, but I do. I appreciate you spending a little holiday time with me. I love it. Once again, a brutal third quarter. Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. I don't get it. Doing LeBron dirty, Pelinka. Yeah, he's got to do so. I hope he has something worked out soon. Hopefully, LeBron is still on fire, but he clearly needs some help. He does. He needs some real help. Real help. I mean, we need several guys. Lakers season is over. Nothing is saving it. The role players suck. Russ and his contract sucks. AD's injuries are inexcusable. And the season is over. I don't care what anyone says about trade this, trade that. Can't say the season's over. I mean, there's still a lot of basketball left. You only have to make the play-in. You don't even need a winning record to make the play-in. You know what I mean? And if AD's healthy, they probably make the playoffs, and then you take your chances. Like, are they winning the championship? Probably not. But, like, I wouldn't say the season's over. They make the playoffs, then yeah, at least got step one. So I can't buy into that. I think that's a little over-exaggerated. And I know a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are, season's over. Depending on how long AD's out, you get a right trade or something, you're easily in the playoffs. The great example, the Bulls are like the 13th seed, and they're like 8 games out of a playoff spot, right? But the Lakers are still only like 5 out of like first place or something like that. So it's not like there's not as much distance that the Lakers have to cover in the Western Conference. So that helps. Like, can we lose, 9 out of our next 10? Of course not. But, if you go on a win streak, you make a right trade, you get a deal done, and all of a sudden you go on a little run, you win 3-4 games in a row, all of a sudden you're in the play-in, and now you just got to kind of weather the storm. Maybe make a push for the playoffs. Fire up Pelinka. Doing nothing, wasting LeBron's career. Again, I mean, we don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. Like, that's the problem. We're not on the phone calls. For all we know, like, people don't want, like, teams don't want to trade right now. Like, that's why nobody, like, there's all these rumors for other teams. It's not just the Lakers. There's lots of trade rumors for other teams too. It's just none of them are getting done because none of the teams want to make a trade, and it's like, teams already want to gouge us, and they want to gouge us even more because they're like, well, if you don't want to wait, we're not like the whole Bojan Bogdanovic thing, right? Like, Rob Pelinka offered one of the first for Bojan, and they were like, well, we don't really want to trade him. We could get that same first at the trade deadline. So if you want him now, then the price is higher. It's just, you can't just make a bad deal. Like, no trade is better than a bad trade. It's better to, just not get fleeced and see what, comes up in the off season or something like that, than make a deal. And it's like, now you have nothing and you're still terrible. You can't give both first up for Bojan Bogdanovic. Like, you just can't. Like, the Lakers need multiple players. So again, like, we don't know. Like, could Rob Pelinka just be like sitting on his hands and doing nothing? Maybe. I don't know. We know he's talking to teams. We know that he's having conversations. So, I mean, and like, unless we know what those conversations are, and even like the rumors and reports and stuff like they don't tell us like what the other side. It's just like, oh, they're talking about Bojan Bogdanovic, or they're talking about this. Like, we don't know the ins and outs. Lakers need to trade now, not to wait any longer, and they'll be out of contention. Again, it comes down to if they can. Teams aren't trying to help the Lakers. Like, they're not. Like, you don't think teams love to be watching LeBron and the Lakers just squander the season away? You think there's not a single team in the league that wants to be the team that turns the Lakers around. Like, imagine if you like traded whatever. Like, let's say the Spurs traded Jakob Poeltl, Josh Richardson, Doug McDermott, and for Russ, the Lakers get the trade exception too. They turn the trade exception into like Bojan Bogdanovic, and let's say Anthony Davis comes back and the Lakers win a championship. The San Antonio Spurs will just, I mean, Pop for one will be kicking himself. The entire league will be like, oh, look, San Antonio bailing out the Lakers again. Like, no team wants to be that team that saves the Lakers. So all the teams are trying to just gouge them. Like, no team wants to be Pau Gasol to the Lakers. Like, that's not what these teams want. So it's just, I mean, teams are going to also look out for their best interests. But right now, there's no rush for these teams. Like, even the tanking teams, you're already bad. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to tank faster? Like, like the Charlotte is what? They're like second or third or first or second from the bottom, something like that. So it's like, if you're them, like, you're not in a rush. Like, you're like, we're already bad. Like, even with these guys. So we're not in a rush to make it happen. Like, man, I can't wait for AD to come back, and I can't wait for Rob Sleepy to make a trade. I don't think Rob getting a trade anybody. I mean, maybe it's very possible. I mean, I hope that's not the case, right? I hope that Rob Pelinka does something. But yeah, where's the Pelicans? Yeah, so the Hornets are second behind Detroit by 2 games. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they have a real chance right now to get Victor Wembanyama. So that's something else too. Multitasking. What else? LeBron got to request a trade at this point. 5-guard lineup. He can't be traded this year. That 5-guard lineup. What happened, bro? I'm done with this. Dude, I don't understand it either. I really don't. Like, I understand like 90% of our team is like guards, but still, like, it's terrible. Lakers ownership and front office is a disgrace of how they are going about improving this team. It's not really much out there. You know what I mean? Like, and even in the offseason, like, what were they supposed to get? Like, they got everybody they could have really gotten, right? Like, maybe Bruce Brown, but he was overpriced. Order Porter Jr., he went to Toronto because of his wife. Like he said, that's the reason. He could have gotten more money elsewhere, but he took the discount for his wife to go to Toronto. Like, stuff like that. Like, who else? Like, we literally got everybody we could have gotten in free agency. And then, in this trade time right now, again, we don't know what's out there. Believe me, it's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating. If I'm LeBron, I don't know how I signed an extension this summer just to have this BS. I'd love to see LeBron on the Cavs right now. Could be getting 25 assists a game. Yeah, I mean, LeBron on the Cavs would be terrifying. Major, yes. Merry Christmas, everyone. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Yes, please hit that subscribe button. Still trying to get to 7K. I don't know if we're gonna hit it. I need a couple good days of subs. We've been kind of like tapering off on the subs. So help me out. I'd really appreciate it. It's free. It's Christmas. Take a second, hit that subscribe button. Like this video. It really does help me out a lot. It helps kind of push this to other people as well as even after the stream. And again, Merry Christmas to all of you. I really do appreciate y'all hanging out with me. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Thank you very much. And thank you, Major. Russ was playing the center. I don't know what plus minus is. Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks. The Lakers look like they just gave up in the fourth quarter. I mean, third quarter. Yeah, I mean, Dallas got hot, so that didn't help. When Dallas is like shooting 40% from three in that quarter, better. They shot like 60-something%. It's just, they made 10, 11 threes in that quarter. It's tough. Scored 51 points. How do you stop that? I believe Rob's karma as an agent is catching up to him. I mean, it's possible. I mean, that could be it. Like, I think it's a combination of things. I think one, maybe, it's Rob's and maybe his incompetence, but I also think teams don't want to help us. Teams aren't looking to make a trade right now. If they are going to make a trade, they want the asking prices more because they're like, we could just go get your first at the trade deadline and do the same deal. So like, why do it now? And I think teams love seeing the Lakers down like this, especially with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, LeBron signed it because Rob told him he would get him help. Yeah. I mean, I think it's that. And just also like, he's not like, where's he going to go? Like, that was the point I made. Like, I don't know if I had this channel at the time, but like my mother channel, like the one that started everything as it stands, that channel, like I know for sure I talked about it. And I was telling people like LeBron has nowhere else to go. Like he's going to stay at with the Lakers because he like no team has the money to sign him except for tanking teams that are terrible. And any contender aren't going to trade the farm to go get LeBron James, and they have to match salaries. And the Lakers aren't just going to trade him for Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson, and now they have no picks, no nothing, and they're stuck. They're salary strapped with Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry. Like it's got to make sense for them too. Let's see. No, we do know what is going on behind the scenes. It's Ginny and Palika sitting on it. No, we don't. I mean, come on. You can't, like, you don't. You're not, unless you're on the phone calls, unless you're sitting in that room, unless you're talking to Rob personally, you don't know. They could be trying every morning. They could be working 15 hours a day trying to get a trade done for all we know. Going back and forth, having conversations and stuff. Like, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We're assuming we know. There's a difference. No one to blame in the Lakers. It's Rob Pelinka choosing Westbrook. I think he was very wrong. Trade him at once. He didn't choose Russell Westbrook. He had a deal done for Buddy Hield. Like, literally had a deal done for Buddy Hield. And then LeBron and Anthony Davis had that meeting with Russell Westbrook and went and said, hey, go get Russell Westbrook. Like, we want Russell Westbrook. And when your two stars say you want Russell Westbrook, you're going to go get Russell Westbrook, especially when LeBron's in a contract year and you're trying to get him to sign an extension. Of course you're going to go get Russ. I mean, he had other deals lined up. I mean, even DeMar DeRozan said, I believe that the deal was done, that I was going to be a Laker. Like Rob Pelinka had completely other plans. Darvin is not a good coach, and we should know that after this game. To be honest, Vogel had a worse squad last year, and the record was better. I don't think Vogel had a worse squad last year. I mean, we were older for sure, but we had more talent last year for sure. It was just defensive schemes, and we didn't have the athleticism to play defense. But also, his sets were terrible. Like he didn't play size either. He played small. We had a lot more size last year than we did this year. And then the whole Russ thing wasn't working out. I think it was just a mess. I don't mind them getting rid of Vogel. Personally, LeBron's last two games, he had a 3 or 6 point game, coming in down 20. LeBron last two games have left a 3 and 6 point game to come in down 20. Yeah. LeBron 38, Russ 17. Reeves got 11 in the last 3 minutes of the game before he got subbed. Dallas 2 30-point scorers and another guy with 25. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. Need some help for sure. All right, let's power through a couple more questions. I'm not going to go as long as I usually do because it is the holidays. The moment I saw that 5 girl, I drew that up. Yeah, I get it. No reason to trade, bro. It's a waste of time to rebuild, man. Can't trade assets for role players. It's not going to help. I mean, it depends on the players. It depends on the role players. And not just that, what kind of rebuild are you going to do? Right? Like, so what? You're just going to let Russ go? Okay, fine. You save the salary. Who are you signing in the offseason? Right? Because anybody that you can get are either going to be role players or they're going to be, or maybe you get lucky and you get James Harden or Kyrie Irving. At that point, you might as well keep LeBron and you might as well keep AD. If you can't trade LeBron, like who's trading for a 39-year-old LeBron that's going to give you assets in return that makes sense for the Lakers? So there goes any trade for LeBron. And then Anthony Davis, you're not going to get fair value for Anthony Davis. You can't rebuild. Like you literally can't. Like it's easy to say like, oh, just trade everybody. Like unless some, star, like I threw out the idea of like Trae Young. Right? Like, so unless Trae Young's like, I want you to trade me and you trade Anthony Davis or Trae Young, John Collins, and Clint Capella, there's no point in trading. You're better off hoping that he doesn't get hurt and that he doesn't miss 50 games a year and trying to go get role guys that can at least help alleviate that. You can't just make a trade just to make a trade. Like, you can't just, like, going and getting Cam Reddish and, like, Sadiq Bey right now doesn't really help, right? Like, that would be more of a future move. But, if you can go get several guys that can come in and really kind of turn things around, then I think you could be a good team. And especially next year, you'd have full training camp, full off season, all of that stuff. Rebuild will make it worse. Agreed. This year is done. Deep down, we all know that. To be honest, shaking my head. I mean, I can't say it. I mean, is it possible? Sure, of course. But like, you don't need a winning record to make the playoffs anymore. So that helps. Like if we had to like get to the A seed, like I'd probably be like, yeah, it's gonna be tight. We're probably in trouble. But you don't. You just have to win like 38 games, and you're fine. um, Lakers have had the worst roster 2 seasons straight. Yeah, it's been bad. We have been down. Um, I want to hear more about possible trade for a pick that are 5. I want to hear more about possible trades for picks that are 5 to 7 years away. Are you trying to say like you want them to trade the picks? Is that what you're trying to say? I mean, look, Rob Pelinka has shown that he's willing to trade him. You can't just trade him just to trade him, though. Do you remember Lou Aldane and Timothy Mozgov? Like, do you remember how bad that was? Like, you do a deal like that. Like, if you make a bad deal, then 5 years from now you could still be cap strapped, and you could still be terrible. I mean, look at when we got Anthony Davis and won a championship. Who thought we were going to be in this position right now, where the Pelicans are going to like after winning the championship? It was like that was the smartest thing in the world. First year championship. Oh, we're winning several. Like, this is great. Like, nobody thought we were going to be in this position, when we made that trade. So it's not just yes, it's about F them picks. I get that, but you can't just F them picks just to F them picks, right? It's got to make sense. You got to do a deal because you can be worse. It's better to have one bad year than several bad years. And that's the problem the Lakers are in. The Lakers made a trade that made them bad for several years rather than just one. I actually am appreciative that Pelinka's not just because he has an easy way out. Trade both picks, go get whatever, and now you have a justification. Go get Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson, and or go get Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. Those are the 2 guys everyone wants. Go get those guys, and he gets those guys, and there's his out. And what if we're still terrible? Now we're stuck with those guys for years. What if like Miles Turner and Anthony Davis is like? It has to be a deal that makes sense. It has to be something that's like, okay, like this makes sense for now and the future. You can't just F them picks just to F them picks, right? Like, he's got to find a deal, and it sucks. And at least he's learned his lesson from past mistakes, because Rob Pelinka, 2 seasons ago, even last season, he would have said, here, yeah, get it, go. I'll give up both first for Bojan Bogdanovic. Then you get Bojan, and we're still terrible. And it's like, okay, well, now we're stuck. Like, now we're going to be bad for the next, 3-4 years. Like, my point is, I appreciate it to an extent. 30 minutes and Russ got 24. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Russ was a minus 30. You can't look at plus minus have almost nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with everyone else. Let Russ play 30 minutes a game again. Pro played 22 minutes and got asked to guard centers, and people still mad at him. Yeah, I don't understand it either. Like, look, Russ didn't have a great second half. Like, I wish he was great in the first half, in my opinion. He was aggressive. He had 12 points at halftime. I love to see that aggressive Russ. He was still making plays. He was still doing things. And then he just kind of tapered off in the second half. He had 5 points in the second. Like, that's not going to cut it. Like, can't do that. Like, that drove me crazy. I was like, come on, man, attack. Like, there was a couple of times where he had the ball, and I was like, just take it to the hole. Like, continue to be aggressive. And he just wasn't. But, playing time sets, all that stuff. Like I said, I really think they need, like, that third quarter. I think you have to start Russ in that third quarter, because at least Russ gives you that energy. Because that's what it seems like. It seems like we don't have the energy to start the third quarter, and we get too far behind. And then Russ comes in, and then we're trying to figure it out, and Russ is trying to play playmaker, where I think if you start Russ and you tell him, like, dude, I need you to be aggressive. You got 4 minutes to yourself to just be as aggressive as possible. Go be aggressive. I really think he could do that. I really think we could have better third quarters. And then LeBron comes in, he's got good rest. He's fresh. He's good to go. And then maybe you could go, weather that third or go on a run. They did rebuild after 2020, but they keep failing. Let's trade Jeannie and Rob and Darwin M. This is unfair, LeBron. Trade him to a contender. You can't trade LeBron this year. again, they gave up so many open threes. Oh yeah, it's insane. Our defense terrible, terrible. Um, there's no hope for this team. The Lakers should have traded AD and LeBron when they had a chance. They could have gotten so many first round picks. Again, I disagree. What are they? What team? Name me a team that's going to trade for LeBron James right now and his $50 million salary without blowing up their team that LeBron would want to go to and that makes sense for the Lakers. I can't think of one. Right? Like, the Golden State Warriors aren't going to trade all their young talent to go get LeBron James. Like, the Cavs aren't going to trade all their young talent to go get LeBron James. Like maybe the Knicks would give you like a bunch of stuff for them just to say that they have LeBron, but like what are they going to give up? That makes sense. Lakers need shooters and better defense. Yes, we need a lot of things. Zone defense is terrible. Agreed. They was hollering plus minus for Caruso. Yes, now it doesn't mean anything. I didn't have a channel when Caruso was on the team, so trade Pelinka. We only had 8 turnovers, though, shaking my head, but just no defense or rebounding. Yeah, I mean, we need a lot of things. We really do. We're in a really bad spot. Really bad spot. No one wants your picks 5 to 7 years from now. I could understand if they were. That's not true. Take 5 minutes to do some research, Justin, and you'll see a lot of who was it? Was it The Athletic? The Athletic asked like 30 or 20 executives, and they all said the Lakers picks are the most coveted picks because every team believes the Lakers are going to be terrible in 5 years. Once LeBron leaves, that's it. Like everyone thinks the Lakers organization is incompetent and that they're going to be picks. If you're a team, would you rather have the 30th pick in the draft because you're making a trade with the Milwaukee Bucks, or would you rather have a potential lottery pick, maybe a number 1 pick 5 years from now, especially if you're a rebuilding team? Right? Because the idea is if I'm Detroit, the idea is I have enough talent right now to grow and develop that when the Lakers pick is ready to be coveted, if that is, a top pick, now I can get the final piece that I need to go win a championship, or I can use that to go now trade and go get that winning piece, like a disgruntled star or something like that, because now I have the number 2 pick in the draft or something like that. There's a lot. Most teams want the Lakers picks. That's why why do you think teams keep asking for the Lakers picks over and over? And they want both of them, and they want unprotected. The reason why, if they just didn't care and they were just like, oh, let's just do it, they wouldn't ask for the protections, all that stuff, because they know the Lakers picks are probably going to be bad 5 to 7 years from now. So if you're a team, especially because it's not like all these contenders are trying to trade with the Lakers, it's all rebuilding teams. So the way they're looking at it is we have enough young talent right now. We need to develop them. We need to grow. Let's get assets later on down the line, because you can't have 15 rookies on your team, because then you got to start cutting guys and you're drafting. So those assets are very valuable for teams. Needed Christian Wood. Dude, I wish we would have gotten Christian Wood. I was saying we should have went after Christian Wood in the offseason. Him starting to become overrated. He just, I don't know why he has this idea of like, oh, let's play 5 guards. That'll work. Ham needs to start Russ in the third every game. He just don't learn. I agree. I've said the same thing. He really does. We need that energy. Ham put Bev, Schroeder, Walker, Reeves, Westbrook on the corner in the fourth quarter with healthy Gabriel Jones and Christie out on the bench. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I don't understand it. It's like he thinks that like guys are all of a sudden going to turn around and be scorers. Like I don't get it. Like they all think like, oh yeah, I'm going to turn it around and everyone's going to be shooting 50% from 3 now. It just makes no sense. I don't think they get in the play-in with 30 wins. Probably not 30 wins. They probably got to get around like 38 wins, something like that. Because the 10th seed only had 35 last season. Let's see. There we go. play-in. So the Spurs had 34 wins. The Lakers were half a game out of the play-in, and they had 33 wins. So realistically, the Lakers have to win around like 35 games to get into the play-in. So yeah. I blame Ham for this one. Yeah, this was. I don't understand either. The Bulls are in a better position than the Lakers. I don't think so. Not even close. At least the Lakers have flexibility. The Bulls have none. Even if they let Vucevic walk, they still have nothing, and they're stuck with two stars that hate each other. They're stuck with a team that has nothing but cap space, doesn't have a bunch of great picks. They're going to be terrible. Orlando gets all their picks the next few years, and they're going to get good picks. Like they're in a much worse position than the Lakers. The Lakers actually at least have guys like the Lakers will get more for Anthony Davis than what Chicago will get for DeMar and Levine combined. It's just, will that deal make sense? Like, Lakers are in a much better position than the Bulls. Ham definitely doesn't know how to coach. He better be watching AD when he comes back. Give him 15, 20 minutes. We don't need him. He can't play Davis 15 to 20 minutes. You might as well not even play him. Nets traded a first for Royce O'Neal, and KD and Kyrie haven't made the conference finals. Jeannie and Rob won't trade a first, even though LeBron and AD proved if they have help, they would win a chip. Yeah, I mean, look, there's multiple differences with that. Like, one, the Nets don't have many options. Two, they needed like that kind of player desperately. And three, like the Lakers, they don't have any. Like, at least the Nets have Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant for the next like 4 years, where the Lakers are very limited right now. Very, very limited. They don't have that luxury. And they have a 38-year-old star. They are on a winning streak, and they have played picks. Lakers have none of that. Yeah. And they're winning, and it's just, there's big differences between the Lakers and the Nets. Lakers, aside from LeBron and Reeves, are all low IQ, Ham included, and especially the GM. How the hell did he build a team like this? Because there was nothing else out there. Again, like, who was he supposed to get in the offseason? Like, I was preaching that in the offseason. Like, I was like, there's nobody for the Lakers to get. Like, that's going to actually be, like, hugely beneficial. Like, I liked Walker. I was like, Walker's going to be great. I was like, they got some nice pieces, but they got everything that you could get in the offseason. There's no way a Kobe team, even in his last season, would have let the team score 51 points in the quarter. Shaking my head. He would have. Didn't Kobe give up 49 or something like that in like a playoff game in a quarter? If they would drop the picks that are 100 years from now and figure out which good players can get for cheap, yeah, if only. I think the Nets make the finals this year. It wouldn't surprise me at all, especially the way they're playing right now. Top 10 in defense, top 5 in offense are pretty good. 80 isn't coming back. Big man and bad feet are a terrible combination. It retires, but guys, I don't know. I mean, they say it's not that bad, so I don't know. This team is far worse than 2020. Refs horrible as always. Only LeBron got foul calls. Only in the fourth. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't a ref thing. I wonder why the Lakers didn't keep the 2020 team, because I woke up one day and everybody was gone. I mean, they should have went back to back. If AD didn't get hurt, they probably would have went back to back, right? Like, it looked like they were going to beat the Suns. They're up 2-1. They're on their way to a 3-1 lead. They have no answer for Anthony Davis, and then he gets hurt, and that's it. Like, so, and then after that, it was like, okay, well, Dennis Schroeder turned down the money. It's like, okay, well, now we need to, like, make some moves. Okay, well, let's go get DeMar DeRozan. Let's go get Buddy Hield. And then they go, oh, we want Russ. So they went and got Russ. LeBron made a mistake by signing that extension with the Lakers. He should have left his options open to go to a contending team. Very passing game. It looks like it'll be another waste season. he had no other options. That's why. That's why he said I wasn't worried. Like you go back and look on this channel and even as it, like my mother channel as it stands, I said repeatedly because people kept asking, like, and I was like, LeBron has nowhere else to go. No team is trading for him. That and the Lakers aren't going to just trade him just to trade him, right? And he didn't go to LA for pure basketball reasons, right? Like he went there for business and his family and his son and things like that, like a multitude of reasons outside of just basketball. And three, the only teams that had money to sign him were bad teams. Like he doesn't want to go to a bad team. Kept trapping Luka and Hardaway and would destroy them. Would absolutely, and they just shot the lights out. Lakers doing the right thing this year, riding this thing out. There's nothing out there that is worth it. Yeah, I mean, it might not be the worst choice in the world. Exactly. LeBron didn't sign because of basketball. He did it. I mean, I'm sure that part of it was, but there was a ton of other reasons why he signed with the Lakers. I mean, there were other teams that, like, when he originally could have signed with the Lakers, right? Like, there were other teams he could have signed with and probably won multiple championships, especially the way he was playing back then. But he didn't because he wanted to go to LA. Like, you know, like that year, he didn't even make the playoffs, right? And there were several teams that he could have went to. He could have went back to Miami, right? Like, and they were in the finals the bubble year, right? They actually stopped the trapping Luka in the third quarter. They went for more one-on-one coverage. All right, let's do a couple more questions, and I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much, HG. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Merry Christmas to you and all of you. Let's see. Truth is, Lakers are too small and run out of steam in the third quarter. Every game seems to be the same. Fast start and badly. Yeah, I mean, we are. We're way too small. If we trade 27-29, we will be good in 2023, 2024, then sign a free agent in 2025, 2026. Cap space 2027, 2029. Worthless. We can't sign free agents in 2025, 2026 unless we get the next 2 years. It doesn't work like that. Like, you understand that, like, LeBron and AD, like, they're probably going to have to get a new contract extension. Any guys that you go and trade for, you're going to have to re-sign because all those guys are free agents. So you're going to have to re-sign them. So you're looking at like 4-year deals. So you're not going to have any salary space after this season. You're not going to have any salary space for at least the next 2 seasons. So that puts you at what? That puts you into 2025, right? And then if you're going to re-sign AD and keep AD around, then you have none of that. Or if AD ends up leaving, then you would need your 2027 and 2029 picks because now you're going to be terrible. So it's actually the opposite of that. Unless they can find like a deal that really makes sense. The idea is to try to get a deal that like makes you a contender and you can win a championship before LeBron leaves. Like that's the goal. Or build a championship contender. Who will want to come here with no picks and no players with them? You'll overpay free agents and that never works. Exactly. Like you can't just do a deal just to do a deal. I don't like Rob. He should have told LeBron and AD no to rest and got some shooters around them. Again, I mean, yes, I understand the whole argument, like he's the GM and stuff like that, but there's not a GM in the league. I mean, look at what the Nets did for Kyrie and KD. Like, there's not a GM in the league that would have told those two guys no, especially with LeBron going into a contract year and you're trying to get him to stay. Like, it's just, yeah, like I don't really blame him that much for it. I'm unsure on the trade front. My head is literally spinning. I feel it. Play Russ more, I agree. They're not trading those picks. Everyone will want to first for Bogdanovich and Hill. Yeah, right now. I mean, I could see a deal come the trade deadline, but at that point, it might be too late. Where's cost you your 2 unprotected first? No, if the Knicks, based on like what Woj and them said, the Knicks basically will just give us Cam Reddish if we take on Evan Fournier. But why would we want to take on that long-term salary? Let's see. I told y'all we need to trade now. Again, it's easier said than done. What's going on, Marcus? How are you? Appreciate you. All right, let's do a few more. Merry Christmas, bro. LeBron scored 30-plus and still lose. Keep the picks and hope for a home run in the offseason. This team isn't anywhere close to contending. First, Raviel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you, too. All of you. Thank you all so very much. And, yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of looking that way. I mean, look, if a deal's there, take the deal. You know, because also, like, if you can get a good deal that makes sense this year and next year, then even if you don't win it this year, you got a full offseason, you got a full training camp. Guys could have time to build chemistry, stuff like that. So I don't mind that, but you know, other than that, it's um, to be ranked. Russ let the Lakers play fast. Yeah, he does. Answer to your question: Bulls, Heat, Mavs, Sixers. The Mavs aren't going to trade for LeBron James. If you're talking about like a trade for LeBron, they're not going to trade for LeBron James with Luka. Luka's the highest usage player in the league. You think Dallas is going to want to take the ball out of his hands? And he's basically a younger LeBron. If Russ and LeBron don't work, I don't think Luka and LeBron are going to work. And then the Heat, again, that doesn't make any sense for the Lakers. What are you going to take? You're going to take Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson, and they don't have shit for picks. So it's like, why would you do that deal? The Bulls, like, you're going to trade what? LeBron James to the Bulls for what? Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan? And, like, Chicago's not good. So that doesn't work. And then the Sixers, like, again, what are you trading? Like, they'd have to trade Harden or Embiid, which, like, makes sense. Otherwise, we'd have to take, like, Tobias Harris and, like, it's just, again, it has to make sense for all parties. None of those teams, and I don't even think any of those teams would want to trade for LeBron. Maybe the Sixers, because, trade Beverly and none. I hope so. I hope it happens soon. We are stuck with LeBron. We got to build around him, properly build the system. That's already proven. He needs 3 points, shooting, team defense, rebounding, ball handling. Yeah, we need a lot of things. And, yeah, we are stuck with LeBron. That could create his own shot and run the system. I take Cavs Miami blueprint, copy. Yeah, basically that's what we need. Let's see. Cavs would also trade for him, and pretty sure the Celtics would. Again, who are the Cavs going to give up? Like, they're not trading Scotty Barnes. Like, they're not trading they're already over the salary. Like, you got to understand, they have to match salaries. So, who are they trading? Like, that doesn't make it, like, I just don't see that. And the Celtics, again, who are the Celtics trading? Like, the Celtics, what they're not going to trade Tatum or Brown. So, again, like, who are they trading? 50 and 32. If only. I haven't seen our team make any adjustments after the first half. Yeah, seriously. Phil Jackson used to say that third quarter is the most important quarter. It is the most important quarter. I mean, look at, like, the Warriors runs. Like, when the Warriors were just, like, beating everybody by, like, 50, it was always the third quarters. Like, they'd come out and just, like, kill it in the third. Like, there were games where they'd be down, like, 30 at halftime, and then all of a sudden they have the lead in the third quarter, and you're just like, what? How did this happen? Like, who do you want on the Lakers, and who do you think would help? I actually think the Hornet, like, problem is we got to wait for Miles Bridges, and it depends on how much he signed for. But the whole reason the Hornets talked to the Lakers about a trade to begin with in the offseason was because they were going to sign Bridges, and they didn't want to pay a max. They didn't want to pay Bridges a max and then have, basically a max on Rozier, max on Hayward. They got to pay LaMelo. They got to pay PJ Washington, all of that stuff. And now they're in a position to give Victor Wembanyama. So if they're working on talking with Bridges about a new contract. If they can get him a contract and he gets a contract, then that now opens up the same trade conversations they had in the offseason, because that was the whole reason they wanted to do the trade. So if you're the Lakers, your leverage play is that you're the only team that can wipe their board. You have a real chance of getting Victor Wembanyama or Scoot Henderson, which are the two prizes in this draft, and have like $150 million in cap space. So you'd have LaMelo Ball, Victor Wembanyama, and Miles Bridges. Like, you're probably the best team in the league in the next 5 years or whatever, right? And if you're the Lakers, you're taking on all that salary. They're basically doing the Knicks thing. Is like, we're just going to give you PJ Washington because you took all of our salary. That's what the Knicks are doing with Cam Reddish. Like, hey, you like Cam Reddish? Well, do you like him enough to take Evan Fournier? Because if you take Evan Fournier, we'll just give you Cam Reddish. Like, you don't even have to give us a first. You don't have to give us anything. Just take Evan Fournier and Reddish is yours. That's basically what the Hornets will be looking to deal. I think that deal actually makes us really good. I think it makes us good for the next couple years. Because you'd have your wing depth. You basically solve all your holes. The only thing is like, you could use maybe another big in case Anthony Davis goes down, but go look at like Whiteside and you're fine. You got your shooting, you got your defense, you got your scoring, you got your playmaking. If Gordon Hayward can stay healthy, which is a tall task, but if Hayward can stay healthy, he might be the best fit next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the league. Like a Swiss Army knife could do everything. He's basically like he's Austin Reeves, like all grown up essentially. So again, that might end up being the best deal. That's the deal that I would hope for. It's going to be a miserable couple of years, probably. It's going to be rough. All right. Let's see. Anthony Davis is always hurt. Why do you think they'll get more for him than LaVine or DeRozan? The Bulls have picks. Lakers don't. The Bulls have assets, players like Patrick Williams and AO. Patrick Williams is solid. AO is hit or miss. He may or may not be anything. DeMar DeRozan is also only getting older and a very specific player that can't shoot, can't do anything. LaVine is just as injury prone as Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis, when he's healthy and playing basketball, is arguably the best player on the planet. Like, legitimately. Like, teams will trade for Anthony Davis and give up more. It's just, do those trades make sense for the Lakers? I'm hoping 80s feet aren't bad. I hope so either. Just because he was Kobe's agent doesn't mean anything. I agree. I think the Clippers would also trade for LeBron. But again, what are you going to get? You're going to get a bunch of role players? Again, it's teams that don't have anything. Like, that makes sense for the Lakers, and they're not going to trade their star. Like, the whole idea is to get LeBron, and now you're the best team in the league. Not like swap a young star for an aging star. LeBron don't really care anymore. He already has his legacy set. If he don't win, it's fine. If he wins, then it's great. But his legacy is set no matter what he does in LA. I agree with that. I don't know. Just not playing good basketball, I guess. Your guess is as good as mine. Again, your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. The Toronto deal would be a blessing. I wouldn't mind the Toronto deal either. And it actually makes a lot of sense for Toronto. The Lakers give up both first and Russell Westbrook. You get Gary Trent Jr., who he's a guy 23 years old, is averaging 17 a game off the bench right now. Solid 3-and-D shooting guard. You get Porter Jr., who, is a 3-and-D guy. He is a little injury prone, but hey, he's got the size. He's got what you need. You don't even have to start him. You can bring him off the bench. And then you'd get Fred VanVleet. So you basically get your shooting, you get your playmaking, get that. You're unloading your guards. And then you can maybe go look at maybe taking Evan Fournier and Cam Reddish on. There you go. Now you got shooting, you got scoring, you got defense, you got playmaking, you got basically everything. You basically just added 2 more 40% three-point shooters to your team, and then Porter, who's like 34%, something like that. So, yeah, I wouldn't be against that either. Why haven't we signed Dwight Howard or brought up a big from the G League? Because none of the bigs in the G League are ready. Like Huff, every time he's gotten NBA minutes, like even last year, he got NBA minutes, and the dude was like literally unplayable. Like he just looks lost out there. He's not NBA ready. Dwight Howard is too slow and terrible. Let him stay playing in Taiwan, where he's killing it because he's not playing against NBA level talent. If they're going to bring up a big, I don't know why they haven't looked at Hassan Whiteside. I really don't. I know that there's issues with his like locker room and stuff like that, but at this point you have nothing to lose and you're in a rough spot. I thought this was a winnable game for Lakers. I mean, this looked like it was at one point. What caused us to lose? Double teaming Luka, take on the matchup. He was picking us apart. Yeah, he was killing us, But all right, let's do a couple more, and then I got to get out of here. It's getting late, and it is Christmas. I got to get back with the fam. I'll just take the Hornets deal and go after Whiteside, Rob. I would love that. The problem is just how long is it going to take for Miles Bridges and the Hornets to come to an agreement? Hopefully sooner rather than later. Who was it? Was it Brian Windhorst? I think it was Brian Windhorst said that he wouldn't be surprised if a deal is done by the new year. So maybe next week, maybe in the next week we get some. Yeah, bro, Toronto deal is what we need. It's a total package for us. I really like it too. I honestly, if I'm being honest, I actually kind of like the Hornets deal better. I think the Hornets deal, if you can get PJ Washington, Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, and Gordon Hayward, I think that that's a better deal, and you wouldn't have to give up both first. There's just no way you're giving up both first. I mean, they weren't even going to give up both first in the offseason. So I don't imagine you give them both up now. So like maybe at most one first. You still have a first. You still now you actually have tradable, movable pieces. So like if a deal comes up, like if Kyrie wants to come in the offseason, now you can work out a sign and trade and go get Kyrie and your roster set. So stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Again, thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. I know it's Christmas, so I'm sure it was you know, I didn't expect people to like hang out the way that they have, and I'm really thankful. I'm really appreciative for all of you hanging out. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, have fun, be safe, please. Don't get too crazy. What's going on, Golden Eagle? Just about to sign off. I'll answer your question real quick. Why not wait until free agency and go after Miles Turner? Because Miles Turner is in talks with the Indiana Pacers about an extension. So he's probably off the board too. But anyway, again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I appreciate all of you. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. It really just takes a second. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I'm trying to get to 7K before the end of the year, and I really need a strong push. So I really appreciate that. So hit that subscribe button, like this video, and all of you be safe, have fun. I'll see you all